What is this? It's a small form factor computer, definitely. But there's no badges, no stickers, no identifying marks anywhere. Most PCs are covered with brands, often stamped into the case. Even the sticker with the Windows key is missing. Very unusual. Very curious. Most mysterious. Behind the front flap, there's mic and earphone jacks, ports for USB, and a FireWire port. It was a garage sale find. 3 monitors, 3 computers, with 2 keyboards and 2 mice. $20. But this guy is a mystery. You can just barely see an AMD sticker on the fan through the grill. And it has lots of fun sockets on the back. Let's open this puppy up. Okay, we got 2 sticks of RAM, an AMD fan, a SATA hard drive, and an IDE CD/DVD drive. I popped the RAM and it's 2 gigs total, a single gig per stick, a matched pair. There's a PCIe 16 slot, perfect for a low power and low height graphics card. I took some shots of the motherboard identifications. There's another one on the side I can't get a good clear shot of. K9 N6 SGM-1. This might be useful later. We'll blow out the major dust and wipe it down before bringing it inside. Searching online, I discovered this is an MSI motherboard, a micro ATX board matching the number printed on the motherboard. It has an AM2 socket and is compatible with a promising list of dual-core Athlons. There was a bit of confusion on my part with the CPU. It appears there are 2 Athlon 64 CPUs, one for a socket 754 and the other for a socket AM2. Since we've got a socket AM2, this makes the range of upgrades much better. Digging deeper, it seems the motherboard can take 2 2-gig memory sticks, upping the total to 4 gigs. Now that we're inside, I noticed that the cover doesn't fit quite right, and there are marks of machine or file work. This may not be the original cover. It took a little more work with a file and a Dremel before I could get the cover to fit correctly. The drives come out pretty easily. Unplug the cables, then the whole assembly comes out. The hard drive was missing a mounting screw. Just another sign that things weren't original to the unit. Someone was inside messing around. It was also the wrong type of screw, so the hard drive was a bit loose. That was an easy fix. The DVD drive wouldn't open, so while I had it apart, I replaced the DVD drive with a spare from another junked PC. I noticed an unplugged cable that leads to the front of the case. It apparently attaches to the front FireWire connector. Digging deeper into the motherboard, I found where the FireWire is supposed to connect to, but there's no pins. Very curious. After some reassembly, it was time to boot this puppy up. After an MSI motherboard splash screen, we get to the BIOS. Here's a close-up shot of the BIOS screen. AMI BIOS version 2.59. This will be important later. And it boots into Windows XP. And here we are with the Windows XP screen. Let's dive inside. Poking around in the disk drive a little, it looks pretty bare. Just Windows. 80 gig hard drive. AMD Athlon 64 CPU. Diving a little deeper into Windows, I find a Dell folder. That's odd. Dell products are usually well marked, usually stamped into the metal case, inside and out. The creation date of the user folders date from 2015. Rather late for a Windows XP system, especially since extended support ended in 2014. Looking under the control panel, I noticed many devices are missing drivers. So the installed disk probably wasn't meant for this machine. Oddly enough, the machine sees the SATA drive as a removable drive. Very curious. So what we apparently have is a debranded or completely unbranded OEM system. I'm guessing that the Windows XP was reinstalled with a Dell disk. Well, the motherboard is the heart of the system, and we have enough information to make some educated upgrades. I popped in an AMD 64X2 4600, a dual-core CPU, and it boots up just fine. The 4600 has more cores, more speed, and more cache, and I had it at hand. Although better CPUs are available, I would have had to have spent money and buy them. After the CPU upgrade, I swapped out the two 1GB sticks for a pair of two 2GB sticks. At 4 gigs, we've maxed out the memory. I also installed a Zolman cooler because I had one at hand, and it would keep the CPU cooler. It also looks nice. The side fan was really noisy, so I ended up replacing it. And to top off the hardware, how about a nice low-profile NVIDIA card? The GT 730 went on sale recently, and I was able to pick one up. Small size, low power, not a gaming card, but for most stuff, it'll be more than adequate. And as a final touch, I added some felt pads to the case. Although you're really not supposed to, I had a drive with Linux Mint already installed, and I just popped it right in, just to see if it would work. Tasty Mint. It updated and installed the NVIDIA driver. Cool beans. And it all just works. Sweet. So let's install an SSD. Let's make this puppy run. I didn't get a picture of it, but the BIOS just didn't see the SSD drive. Unhappiness. Since the regular SATA drive was seen as a removable drive, I decided to do an update to the BIOS. Maybe that would fix things. After it was installed using FreeDOS, the SSD was seen. I popped in a regular SATA drive just to test out the BIOS, and it was seen correctly and not as a removable drive. Oddly, every Linux distro I tried to install to the SSD failed in some way. Some crashed during the install, some crashed during an update. I put back the hard drive and things went okay. I suspect that older MSI motherboards are not very Linux friendly. I've installed Linux on at least 24 machines, and this is the first time I've had so much trouble. So we'll stick with the hard drive instead of the SSD. So what do we do with this little puppy? How about some old games? I'm not a big gamer, and my selection is limited to what I can find at the Goodwill or to what I had from back in the day. With DOSBox and Wine installed, let's see what will run. How about a little Tomb Raider? Pointy-boobed Laura runs again. This is unfinished business, running on DOSBox. I actually bought this one way back in the Windows 95 era. Swim, Laura, swim! It works about as well as it did back in the day. It runs better without the screen capture software running. There was also a demo for Tomb Raider 2. Again, with the screen capture software running, the gameplay is pretty choppy, but it runs okay without the capture software. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Graphics are not much of a problem here. This program was a Goodwill find. Old, but still a lot of fun. Ghost Recon Gold Edition. This was another Goodwill find. With the screen capture, it's a bit choppy, but without it, it seems to run okay. This is not my type of game, so I didn't get beyond the training bits. Grand Theft Auto 4? Not even going to try it. But how about some native Linux games? Super Tux Racer works just fine even with the capture software running. Oh yeah, this is nothing but fun, fun, fun. And for all you first-person shooter fans, Sauerbraten. It's a Doom Quake shoot 'em up. Kill monsters before they kill you. Yeah, I suck at this. I might do better if I read the instructions or if I had a better keyboard or controller. Still, shoot 'em up! Okay, not very good as a gaming PC, but it does all the normal stuff just fine. Although it was a pain in the butt to get working, it's just so little and black and cute it makes me want to squee like a little girl. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious. Squeeze!